The Enlightenment, the Dark Age, cycles of life, death, and rebirth, the eternal return. Dark Souls goes far beyond what we normally think of as a game. Contrary to your average video game, where the aim is mainly to put your mind at ease and have fun, Dark Souls is a work of philosophy and endurance. Pushing beyond mere entertainment, it taps into the heart, mind, and soul of our culture and what we are facing. What we face is loss. Loss is one of the primary themes of the game. I mean that in every sense of the word. Not just the loss of a loved one, but the loss of purpose, loss of sanity, loss of the world you once knew, and of course, the literal loss of progress, items, and souls within the gameplay itself. At first glance, the land of Lordran is a Lovecraftian nightmare, and it only becomes more disheartening the more you delve into it. Almost everyone in this world is hostile towards your existence, and even the friendly ones are often using you as a means to an end. You are not the hero in this story. Hell, there are no heroes. This is a forsaken land. This place is not alive. It is undead. It is a civilization in decay. This theme is hammered on even further in Dark Souls 3, where the decay is even more advanced. You quite literally walk through the ashes of civilization in these games. Light and dark are reoccurring motifs in this series, from the bonfires you rest at, Solaire's obsession with the sun. It is even made into a gameplay mechanic with the torches in Dark Souls 2, which allow you to illuminate dark areas. For the original Dark Souls, I'd like to bring attention to the sun in particular, as the game draws a lot of attention to it. Solaire is quite possibly the only genuine friend you meet on your journey. He speaks of his admiration of the sun, comparing it to a father even. After several dark, dingy, disturbing areas, you reach Anor Londo. The sun shines heavenly on this magnificent city. Now you, the player, being deprived of light and beauty for many hours of game time by this point, you too will likely experience an admiration of the sun. However, play far enough, and this admiration is shattered in two large ways. First, the sun of Anor Londo is merely a magical projection conjured by a feeble mage. Second, Solaire himself becomes disillusioned and cannot find his sun. The sun is a great representation of God. Solaire loses his faith, and you do as well once you discover that Anor Londo was just an orchestrated puppet show intended to manipulate you into doing what others want you to do without your knowledge or consent. Solaire descends into nihilism and loses his mind. You too may start to question yourself. Should you give up now that you know the truth? Should you continue to follow a lie, just so you have some reason to keep going? Are these the only two options? These are far from ideal. The idea captured here is Nietzsche's concept of the death of God. Many know the quote, but most miss the actual meaning of it. God is dead is not a snarky remark from a Reddit atheist. It is a statement of concern and contemplation. Nietzsche wondered how people would react to a godless, meaningless universe. The inevitable conclusion was that civilization would become nihilistic without God. However, even this isn't capturing the essence of it. Sure, this is the take that Jordan Peterson often evokes, but I believe that the true idea is deeper still. That the very animating force of a culture is dead. That is what he is saying. With the death of God, we are paralyzed with inertia. This depressive nihilism makes us condemn life itself. Now this is hard enough on the individual level, warding off nihilism that is. However, it is even harder to win this battle when your entire culture condemns life. When you yourself must rise above everyone pulling you down, and give your own quest purpose and meaning. It is phenomenal how this rather complex concept manifests itself in a video game, and how fully this concept is explored. You are truly made to find your own intrinsic motivation if you are to complete the game. Many give up much earlier due to the confusing story and punishing combat. It truly takes a Superman to persevere. In fact, the exclusivity of the series has led to some demanding the game should have an easy mode, but that's a topic for another time. Now, the ending of Dark Souls is an interesting one. There are two endings, a light ending and a dark ending. The light ending is the one you are led to if you take everything at face value. If you take for granted what Frampt and Guinevere tell you, you may not even realize that there is another ending. The dark ending is what Kath leads you to. Upon discovering this secret, most will assume that the light ending must be false, and the dark ending must be the correct ending. However, Kath could be lying too. So which ending is the correct one? The light ending involves you self-immolating in order to keep the flame going. It would seem to be a noble self-sacrifice for good. But it is noted that the flame will still eventually burn out, even with your sacrifice. You are just prolonging the inevitable. On top of that, after the horrors you've endured during your run, is this world even worth prolonging? It is hardly a healthy environment to live in. The dark ending suggests you become the leader of the new world. Sure, on the surface, being a king is for sure more appealing than being burned alive. To hell with the old world. Besides, I'm clever for discovering this ending. I'm smarter than the idiots that chose the light ending, right? Well, it's not that simple. In the DLC, in Oolacile, we find out that the dark messes people up pretty badly. It is just as bad, if not worse, than the Age of Fire, the light ending. Personally, I like to view this choice in a meta way. The light representing the enlightenment, which we seem to be reaching the end of, and the dark ending representing the chaos of the unknown. Do we cling to our rationality? Do we cling to things like Christianity and liberalism? Even though these concepts are so hollowed out, they have lost the value they once had. Or do we reject this rationality in favor of more primitive instincts? Do we embrace the danger of the dark and put this dying world out of its misery? I don't think there is an easy answer, but Dark Souls forces us to make a choice. It doesn't even give us much information. In fact, the game doesn't even tell you there is a choice. Ultimately, we must all decide for ourselves what we wish to fight for. Do we preserve or destroy? Life is made of choices, some without appeal. But one thing I can say for sure, don't you dare go hollow.